hate my photos. I have nothing to photograph around me. I don't live anywhere exciting. I just don't have time after work. I'm just going to go get a coffee. Are you coming or not? I just don't have a style in my photography. What's the point of even doing it? These are some of the things we think about when we're at crossroads with our photography. For one reason or another, we feel like our photography could be improved in some way. Taking that next step can be overwhelming, especially for beginners. It's what leads many to give up on photography or seek out what they think will be an instant fix. But all these quick fixes don't make you a good photographer. Training your eye to see a good photo is ultimately the skill we're trying to improve. No camera, preset, or Lightroom tutorial is going to improve your photography, but I'm going to give you 6 steps on how you can practically improve your photography. Whether you're a beginner or a veteran or just someone who's a bit confused as to what to shoot in your photography, stick around. So number 1 in our 6-step process is find time for photography. Mate, I don't have time for photography. I work 8 hours a day. I have kids on the weekend. I just don't have time to improve. This is probably one of the biggest reasons people give up on photography and they don't continue or grow. The best way to improve any skill is with experience. So you're going to have to put in time to get that experience. How do you find time for photography? The most practical way for most of us is just to integrate it into our weekly routine or even daily routine. If you usually have a pretty hectic week, see if you can meet up with some friends who are also in photography, or maybe join a group on Facebook or something where there's a meetup location for a bunch of people who all want to be photographers or want to get better at the hobby, and you can all shoot together and pick apart each other's photos. Just make sure you're not a negative Nancy, because you don't want to lose friends over photography. I know many photographers who implement photography into their daily routine. Sometimes for a lot of them, it's as simple as just taking their camera to work with them. On the way to work and on the way home, they shoot what they see, what looks nice, what doesn't look nice. Maybe it's just a bit of street photography, but whatever it is, it really helps them improve their skills very fast. Number 2 is focus less on gear. Now, I know you've probably heard this before, but talk to any professional photographer or a photographer you really admire, and they're going to tell you the same thing. When I first started out, I just had a basic camera and that's all I used. I only used my phone. I used a disposable film camera. Whatever it is, a lot of the great photographers started with something very basic and then worked up from there. These days, it's never been so easy because everyone has a basic camera in the form of your phone, which makes it so much easier to start photography and improve very fast. If you sit around waiting to save enough money to afford the best camera, you're basically wasting time that you could improve on the skills. So then when you get that amazing camera, you've already know the type of style of your photography and can just start shooting straight away. The one quote I love, and here I'm not sure who said it, but the best camera is the one you have on you. And that's 100% true. Number 3 is finding inspiration. Now, everyone is different when it comes to inspiration. For me, I always get inspired about when I see photos in the physical sense, either a book or prints or something that's actually there, not on a screen. Even if I see the same photographer's photos on Instagram or on a piece of paper or something printed out, I will immediately be more attracted to the one that's printed out than on the phone. I find that looking at their photos in a physical sort of form is much more inspiring than stumbling across an image on Instagram. There are fewer distractions with the physical sense. No one's messaging you. There's no notifications. You're not getting constantly bombarded by emails or distractions or whatever. You just get to analyze that image that is right in front of you. Now, me personally, I get so much more out of looking at photography this way, and I get so much more inspired when I see an image in the physical sense. And that really gets me excited to go out there and shoot my own images. So photo prints and photo books can be quite pricey, so I do understand going for the online realm if you're just in social media scrolling on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it may be. In that sense, I would say that try and find someone's style who really inspires you and make sure you follow them and interact with their work, so that way it comes up more on your feed and you're able to be inspired a lot more to get out there and shoot your own sort of images. But another great option is you could visit local bookstores, libraries. They often stock a lot of photography. You could also just get like National Geographic magazines, old ones, new ones, whatever you want. A lot of these have great images of all different types of variety, whether it's portrait, landscape, extreme sports, whatever it may be. I think National Geographic is a great option, but of course it is an expense and it's a regular expense. Make sure you follow your favorite photographers on Instagram. I'll leave a link to mine just in case, if you want me to be your favorite photographer. I don't know, whatever. So number 4 is choosing a focal length. Now, what do I mean by this? If you're constantly switching lenses from a 24 to a 16 up to a 50, now to back down to a 24 to a 70 to 200, you're really going to struggle to improve your own style of photography. My practical tip is choose a focal length and run with it for a week or a day and only shoot on that focal length. You can just do this on a zoom lens and just set it to 24mm or 70mm, whatever it is, and just don't move it. Simply every time you take an image, it has to be on that focal length. Before you know it, you'll be visualizing scenes with that focal length in mind. And that doesn't mean that you have to stick to that focal length forever. You could just run with that for a week or so or a day and then change it to a different length and then do it again and then again and just keep repeating that cycle over and over again. And then maybe in 2 weeks, you sit down, go through the images you've taken and say, well, you know what? I actually really like this style of image. So maybe I'll shoot on this focal length, or maybe I like that 70mm. That image looks really great. The idea is just to get that variety of experience so you know what you want to shoot. If you've invested lenses for one camera body, you know how frustrating it can be to know that that lens probably only fits that certain camera. Well, a lens adapter is a great idea. Now, this is really good if you want to use vintage lenses on your camera, which can help you save money a lot. And these vintage lenses, sometimes the quality is amazing and the look they get is absolutely stunning. So a camera lens adapter, is a really great option to get inexpensive lenses. Number 5 is focus less on what to photograph. One of the biggest challenges beginners face is choosing what to photograph. Because they don't have anything they want to photograph nearby to them or what they see on Instagram, they just don't get into photography and they just put that camera down and forget about it. My advice to that is focus less on what you're photographing and just focus more on getting out and shooting photos. Explore your interests more. Photograph everything. If you go for a walk in the afternoon, just take your camera and snap a few shots at sunset. Experience will prevail and you'll eventually find that, hey, I actually did enjoy shooting that, but you won't know unless you get out. So focus less on what to photograph, take your camera with you wherever you go, and you can just shoot whatever you want. So my final tip, number 6, is reframing goals. So dream big and have aspirations. Of course, me, myself, as a photographer, I still have big aspirations on what I want to do and what I want to achieve. And I'd love to get a photo book out there someday and sell more prints and have physical copies of all my images. But it's great to have these goals, but sometimes you just need to minimize them a little bit as to if you don't achieve them over a certain time, will you just let go of photography then, or what's going to happen? Really feeling demotivated lately. I've thought that trying to become a professional sort of extreme sport photographer would be a lot easier than what it is. And it's not the technical ability to do it. It's not the physical ability. It's none of that. It's actually just finding people who are willing to go out and shoot with. That seems to be the hardest part of trying to do this. It's almost virtually impossible. And one thing I'm learning is that it's all about relationships. Everything is about relationships in this sort of reign of work. And if you don't have those relationships, it's extremely hard to build and sort of gain a portfolio where you want to do more work. Now, in a modern world, a lot of photographers will quit because, you know what, on social media, my images aren't getting likes, I'm not getting any follows. This is just a waste of time. Don't let this discourage you. On a smaller scale, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Every time you go out and shoot photos, you're not going to take that gallery image photo that you're looking for. And that's fine. That's part of the process of improving. You see what you like and you want to repeat that. Those days where you don't get the images you want are also experience in becoming a better photographer. It trains your eye what to see and what not to see, which ultimately makes you a better observer and photographer. If you found this video useful, share these practical skills with your friends and how you can all improve together. Maybe you're going to meet up in the middle of the week, have some beers, take some photos, and just have a great time. Enjoy photography, guys. It's a process. Learn from experience. See you next time.